The way that my brain works when understanding concepts is as cool as it is like hard. I just feel like I was put together just a little different. And I want to share it with you in hopes that somebody else thinks like me. Because after I explain this, if anybody else out there sees the world that I do, that would feel really good to know. You've probably heard me say it before, but I relate my entire life to like an RPG. Turn-based, but I guess that doesn't really matter. But in everything that I do, be it like videos or weight loss or drawing, I always imagine that I'm like leveling up, that I'm like learning new skills, that I'm just getting stronger. And every step that I take, no matter how small, if it's just drinking more water or doing a few doodles a day, I feel like I'm always getting experience. My personal motivation in doing everything that I do is my fear that I won't be high enough level to like beat the next boss, or even help or save anybody that needs it. I might be the main character in my story, but I think it'd be cool if other people thought in the same way, and they're like, oh, see, we need Sky in our party because he's the dopest healer out. And I am. And trust me, life has more than a few boss battles. Moving out, getting your first job, paying rent, getting credit, going to college, becoming 30, finding your career, finding your hobbies, garnering your dream, getting into a relationship. There are just so many crucibles that you just cannot be underleveled for. And it's not only being high enough level, but also having the best gear. Think of it like this. You could be a high level, but have shitty gear. You can be really funny, but be a shitty comedian. You could be really good at drawing, but be a terrible artist. Two very different things. Being really funny is just that. Being funny, entertaining people, making people laugh. But can you make a lucrative career out of that skill? I personally believe that's the difference between being funny and being a comic. Just like being good at an instrument and being a musician. Just like being great at a video game or being a pro. In the way that I look at myself, I also feel the same way about my friends. In my head, I give them like levels and like classes and skill sets and talent trees. And I always think like, who would I swap out? You know what I mean? Like in an RPG, you can't have like 16 people come and fuck a boss up. No, you usually only pick anywhere from like 3 to 5. And just because you like a character, if they are ass, you cannot put them in your party. They will feed. Because you don't want someone to just die over and over and over again, do no damage, and then just waste all of your resources. The sad thing is, currently in my life, there are very, very few people that I would just automatically put in my party. There's really only one unconditional soul, and that's Melissa, or Sade. She's a brilliant artist and my constant inspiration to keep pushing the limits of what I do with art. I consider her a pictomancer, you know, somebody that like draws something and then it comes to life. And I'd put her in my party 10 out of 10 times. If I could only find a bear tank and a DPS. Fuck. I feel like everybody has a talent tree. There are so many things that you can do, but you always have to start from square one. What people don't get it is to achieve a goal or a dream, you have to go through steps. It's never just linear. There aren't very many talent trees that are just linear, and those usually suck. For example, I want to be a great artist, I gotta start from here. I gotta start from the bottom. But first I have to learn about basic shapes, and then shading, and then perspective, and then anatomy. And then consistency, and then foreshortening, and then like there's a whole bunch of other things, and then you finally make it to the top. Everything you want to do in life has a talent tree like that. And in order to give yourself points to put in these trees, you gotta grind. You gotta get the experience. You gotta put time into it. You gotta put your soul into it. It's so important to level up as high as you can before all of these boss battles hit you in life. Because you gotta survive the first hit. You know, a boss battle is gonna come and smack you right in the face, and you better hope you don't wipe, and then your whole party dies. But the scary part is there's no save point. There's no reset. You can't just change the game. It'll just stay on the game over screen, and you'll just be laying right there until somebody comes by and revives you. But somebody might not, and I find that so terrifying, don't you? I have an unhealthy obsession with video game music, or really just music in general. The majority of my day I spend with headphones in my ears, listening to my Audible medication, just kind of like pretending what my life would be if it was like a season 2 anime intro, where it kind of vaguely shows you like what's to come and who's gonna fight who and who's gonna discover their new powers and shit. And while I'm experiencing this auditory daydream, I try to only include people in my life that I know are gonna be like my friends forever. And the list in regard to that is dangerously short. When you look at me, you might see some overgrown, below average looking black dude, but when I see you, I see like this high level mage or warrior or whatever you decide to do. There are so many things that we can do with the borrowed time we have on Earth, you know, like it'd be a shame if your talent tree was just left blank. And I think it's crazy how many people are already so well evolved in their talent tree that I just don't know about. Like, I want to know about every single one of these people. I saw this artist on Twitter like 2 days ago, drew a realistic Toriel and Frisk. Like, it should be illegal to be that good. Take you to jail. And I'm out of control obsessed with Undertale, as Toby Fox has proven to be a boss battle in and of himself. Those people that create such beautiful things that are so high in their talent tree, at least in my head, they exist. And they're everywhere. Some of you have so much talent, like, you don't even know. Like, some of you probably already have a talent tree that just automatically goes up really fast because that's what you're just naturally talented in. I'm rambling. You don't want to hear this, my bad. If you ever want me to understand something, just compare it to an RPG and I'll get it instantly. I don't really know why my brain works like that. I do think that I was put together a little different, but I don't think that I would change the way I think for anything in the world. I hope some of this made sense. Sorry for the not funny video. This is really weird, I get it. But at least if one person understands how I think, or one person even thinks the way that I do, I think for my psyche, especially right now, it would help a lot. I'd stay and talk, but I gotta draw, because I cannot wait to show the whole world what I've got going on up here. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'll see you guys.